Hey folks, my guest today is Olivier Simonis. He is the creator of Qualifio and a few other companies, including 87 Seconds, Europe's leading video content agency, which he sold in 2018 to DataWords. He'll step down as Qualifio's CEO in July and stay as chairman. He's based in Belgium and started his professional career at PwC in DC, and also the father of two sons. The company Qualifio is playing in the engagement and data capture SaaS platform space. Olivier, are you ready to take us to the top?
Oh, that was fast.
All right. Well, hey, this will be fun. So first things first, why are you stepping down as CEO?
Well, I've been a CEO of Qualifio for 10 years. I've been a co-founder and CEO for 10 years. In the company, there are really talented people that I think can do the job at the moment better than what I can. So I'm 50 now, and I think I have also other projects that I want to pursue and let these talented guys run the company on a daily basis.
So you launched it 10 years ago, 2010,
Yes.
2011. What does the
Yes.
company do?
Well, the company is, as you said, it's a SaaS platform, a B2B SaaS platform for interactive marketing, so engagement of communities and data capture. So it's used by media or by large FMCG companies when they want to engage with the audience and when they want to know the audience better by capturing PII, intent data, hobbies, etc. about their communities.
And what are these companies paying you on average to use this technology?
Well, the average revenue per user for us or per client is about $25,000 per year.
Okay.
So it's really the enterprise segment. And they pay us a yearly license for unlimited use of the tool.
Got it. What sort of upsell metrics allow you to drive expansion of revenue? Is it product upselling, seat upselling, utility-based upselling?
It's a bit of both. So we very often we start with like one brand in one country. You would start, for example, with Lay's in Belgium because that's where we're based in, and then you would upsell to Doritos and Quaker, and then after Belgium you would upsell to France and Spain. If we talk about PepsiCo, for example, which is one of our clients, plus the number of users as well, plus some premium features that we are also putting on the market. So there are different dimensions for us to be able to upsell.
And how many of these customers are you now working with today?
We are working with about 300 of these customers, so a bit less than 300 customers across Europe. So 99% of our clients are in continental Europe.
Yep. Now, can I take that ACV you just gave me times the customer count? You're doing about $600,000 a month in revenue.
Yeah, we are slowly but surely reaching $7 million US dollar in ARR. So indeed.
Well, congratulations. Now, where were you a year ago?
Well, it's a good question. We were basically 25% lower in ARR. Because the COVID crisis did have an impact on our activities. We used to be growing around 50% a year. Last year was rather positive, but we slowed down the growth a little bit because we were impacted by sectors like travel and sports and entertainment, which is quite an important sector for us. And most of these companies, they stopped investing in new MarTech tools and slowed down on their investment. So there was a bit of a slowdown of the growth for us, but it allowed us to focus on capital efficiency and also the fact of launching new modules. And so we're ready to grow again at the pace where we're growing in the past.
Olivier, how do you manage capital efficiency?
Well, I think you have to be super cost conscious. It's interesting to look at the history of Qualifio. We used to be bootstrapped for about 6 years on our existence, and then we raised the Series A at the end of 2017, rather small, with only €3 million with Belgian investors. And then we had more money on a bank account, of course, and we kind of lost a bit of this capital efficiency or this cost efficiency of cost obsession, cost consciousness that we had. I think with the crisis, we went back to basics. That is to say, look at every euro that is going out of a bank account and be super cautious and try to think about what this euro is going to bring. And yeah, basically that brought the EBITDA back to positive for us.
And when you raised it 3.6 million in 2017, what was revenue then?
It was around 1.5 million euros, so it's about 2 million US dollars.
Mm-hmm. And can I ask what valuation you raised 3.6 at?
Well, it was a very standard times 5 valuation. I mean, we kind of follow we were valued at the standard SaaS valuation metrics.
So that'd be about 10 million pre-money and 13 million post.
In this area, yes.
Yeah, interesting.
Absolutely.
How do you think about the company's value today?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
How do you think about the company's value today?
Well, to be honest, yeah, I suppose it's following the same path. Huh? I think we are valued around the same multiplicator. I think the multiplicators have really gone up in that space. We have not been growing as fast, as I said, as fast as in the past. But we are quite sound. We have a great team. We have really like marquee customers. We are not really obsessed by an exit, nor by a Series B at the moment. So, to be honest, we don't care too much about how much is the company valued. We try to focus on what we do and growing the business and keeping the customer satisfied and the team satisfied. Because I mean, it's quite a challenge these days to keep the team satisfied. You have all these people that are super bored of staying at home. We used to be a company that was very strong on atmosphere and events at the office and of course all these activities that have been completely stopped. So it's kind of challenging to keep people with the same level of motivation and so our focus is really there at the moment rather than looking at a Series B or a potential exit. I mean that might of course come later on, but we are really not proactively looking for that.
And are you profitable today?
Yes, we are break even. Yes, profitable. I wouldn't say, but we are break even. So it means we have no pressure to raise money or to find a financial solution.
You talked about team and culture. How many folks on your team today?
Today it's a bit less than 80 people in the company, spread across 4 offices. So our main office is in Brussels, in Belgium, and then we have sales and marketing offices in Madrid, in Paris, and in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm. How many engineers of the 78?
It's about half. Half are working on the product. If you take the product and R&D team, including the DevOps, it's about half of the company. The rest being sales, marketing, and G&A.
How many of the sales folks actually carry a quota?
Well, it's actually most of them, except we have 2 SDRs, which are a bit of a different approach, but all the rest they carry quotas. Yes.
So how many carry a quota? About 15, 30?
At the moment, the sales team is about 8 people.
8 people. Okay. One of the big things is scaling a SaaS company, scaling your sales team, right? So how do you think about hiring new sales reps, ramping them up? What quota do you give them in the first year?
That's a good question. No, because we are, as I mentioned, pretty strong in continental Europe. Or the questions that we are now asking ourselves is, what about UK? I mean, the biggest digital marketing market in Europe. And for this now, we are waiting the options of hiring people in the UK, working with partners locally. And to answer your questions, when we have quota-based sales guys, the average monthly MRR that we ask them to bring in is around $3,000 of new MRR. Of course, with a ramp-up period.
in the first 12 months, if they had $3,000 each month for 12 months, that's $36,000 of new MRR, or about $500,000 of ARR in the first year.
Yeah, except that, of course, there is a ramp-up period, so we don't accept anything from them the first 6 months, and then we expect half of the target the 6 months that are following. And we really expect.
Your fully ramped folks, though, are adding about $500,000 in ARR. That's their target quota.
Yeah. That's what they should be doing.
And Olivier, if they hit quota, what's their full on-target earnings? Is it about $100,000, $150,000?
Well, don't forget we are in Europe, so it's not the market is a bit different. So it really depends. I mean, we have senior folks, so we have more junior folks. The on-target earnings is more or less. I mean, if I take a big approximation, around 50-50, and that would be like 50K fixed and 50K on-target earnings.
Yeah.
That would be an average.
That makes a lot of sense. So take me back to, again, personally, you have some ideas you've written down, you want to go build them, you're going to step down as CEO. Are you the sole owner of Qualifio besides the investors?
No, we are actually two co-founders, and a bit atypical. We were both in our 40s. We were both reaching 40s when we decided to step out of our employee job to start the entrepreneur adventure a bit on the late. I mean, not super late.
You're still early.
At 40. My co-founder Serge used to be the CTO. And I mean, he has stepped down as CTO, and we have a great CTO who replaced him about a year and a half ago. So he's still working in the company, but as a chief innovation officer. So we both founders. We still own the majority of the shares, and now of course, the investors that have joined us 3 years ago, they own the rest, and also the team owns warrants. So we decided 2 years ago that we wanted to have an employee stock option plan, not limited to a few key people, but open to the whole company. So we have now about 90 people of the employees of the company that own warrants of the company, and they will be able to exercise these warrants to have shares.
On a fully exercised and fully diluted basis, how large is the employee option pool?
We made it at 10% of the cap table.
Pretty standard.
Then it was a bit diluted. No, I think in total it's around 7.5%.
And then investors own something between, call it, 10 and 20%, and then you and your co-founder.
We have one kind of friend and family first, our business angel, and then the investor who joined us for the Series A. They owned around 30% of the company. So it's rather simple cap table, actually.
30, yeah. So you and your co-founder still own what, about like 55% of the majority?
Yeah. You're good at maths, Nathan.
Well, that's good. I'm curious. So how do you go about finding a CEO to replace yourself here?
Yeah. Well, no, that's a very good question, and for me that's a great story, because the CEO who is going to be the full CEO from next month has actually joined the company 7 years ago. So he joined the company first as a sales guy in Belgium, and then he became kind of the country manager, sales country manager in Belgium. Then he became the head of sales. Then he became the COO, and since January we are both co-CEOs. So it's really someone that knows the product, knows the company, is fully aligned with the values, live the values. I mean, and I think it's a great key to success is to have someone that is completely aligned with your objective, with your values. There's no bad surprise to expect. He's highly respected by the rest of the team, and honestly, for me, that makes me quite proud to be able to have built a company that actually can live without the two founders and can really continue without the founders and will not be impacted negatively. On the contrary, I think.
I think that's great. Before we wrap up here with the famous 5, talk to me about churn. What's your gross revenue churn the last 12 months?
Well, it's quite stable, to be honest. We have a churn about 10% a year, which is rather standard for this kind of SaaS product. It has gone up a little bit at the beginning of the COVID crisis, because of churn linked to travel sector and cinema companies and attraction parks, etc. But most of it was basically were contract that we had to freeze because people were not just at the office to operate the platform. So it went up at that time by 50%, and now we are really back to the average churn rate that we used to have around 10% yearly. So,
And how much expansion revenue do you have on the same cohort?
That's a good question. It's in terms of new biz, when I say we are growing the business, it's about 2/3 is coming from new biz and 1/3 is coming from expansion of existing contracts. So that's upsell that are linked to new countries or new brands or new users that are joining the platform.
Yep, you've added about $1 million in ARR over the past 8 to 12 months. You're saying about 1/3 of that new $1 million in ARR, so about $350,000 came from expansion of historical customers.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So is net dollar retention then above 100%, would you say?
Yeah, it's around that, yes.
Yeah, very good. All right, and what are you spending to get one of these new customers in terms of CAC?
Sorry, in terms of CAC? We are spending around 15K. So we can say that, or after the first year, the new customer are completely profitable.
Yep, that makes good sense. Olivier, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, favorite business book.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't prepare that at all.
That's okay.
I didn't know.
Top of your head. Look.
Favorite business book. It has to be a business. Well, I would say predictable revenue, because that's such an easy answer. But that's one we have been using a lot to structure our sales team.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
There is studio I am following. I think that's, to be honest, I don't have kind of a guru mentor, but we have put together a CEO of SaaS CEO club of SaaS companies here in the French-speaking area of Belgium. And to be honest, I'm very inspired on a daily basis by my folks that are doing the same job than I am.
What's the name of that group?
Oh, it's just it doesn't have a name. It's just the CEO SaaS club around here. But I think that's for me a great inspiration, more than famous CEOs, to be honest.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building a business?
What's
your favorite online tool?
I didn't get that.
Your favorite online tool for building a business.
Oh, okay. Well, to be honest, I think Slack really changed our lives at Qualifio, and especially when you're a CEO and you want to be involved in everything happening in the company without too much effort. I think, for me, Slack's really changed the way I worked.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
7, more or less.
Okay. And what's your situation? Married, single, kiddos?
Married, 2 kids.
Love
14 and 13.
Take us home. Last question. What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
Something I wished when I was 20.
Something you wish you knew.
These are hard questions when you have not prepared them.
On purpose. I want them off the top of your head, not scripted.
Probably that I would get so much pleasure and satisfaction by creating my own company. So I would probably have done it earlier had I known how much I would love it.
Guys, Qualifio, founded back in 2010. They've scaled from $5.4 million in terms of run rate last year to 6.6 today, healthy growth rate. They've done it pretty capital efficient, 3.6 million raised, and that's it in 2017. 78 folks on the team today, 38 engineer, 8 sales reps. Again, helping you understand and collect data across all of your different digital channels due to the interactive content they help you set up. We'll see what happens next. Olivier, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you so much, Nathan.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.